Yep. This makes me want to just go to sleep.
I'm mildly interested in this band because they're kind of all over the fucking map.
Yeah. I'd never heard of them until today.
649, and I'm not talking like numerals. It's all spelled out in all one word. SIXFORNINE.
And some are uppercase.
So yeah, and it looks
for some reason
looks like a ransom note
from a very sad, worthless individual. God damn that! Outside, we heard two of their songs. I'd heard that one before I came over. The one we just heard was a little like, this is a song we want you to hear. That's what we're going to hook you in with.
Yeah.
And which, I get. I never really hate on a band for doing that because shit, you got to sometimes to fucking get people to listen to. You got 9 songs. You got to have one that's not for you so people will come in and listen to the other 8.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what the other tracks are because the other one we'd heard was titled "Bullet Off Its Course."
Yeah.
And straight up sounds like the Silverback days of Nickelback.
Silverback days. I used to like Nickelback. Okay. I'd heard that song "Leader of Men." It was off their very first album. I heard it on the radio when I was living in upstate New York. And it was the acoustic version, and I really dug it. Ended up buying the album, which I can't remember the name of it. Probably for the best. Blotted that out of my brain. But after that, then they put out that second album that was straight up an MTV album.
We're here for money.
Silver Side Up was all about the cheddar. It's like, oh, we got all the bitches. Now let's get that money. And it just got worse. They put that fucking song Rockstar out.
Yeah.
Which I hate to say. The only reason I know all the words to it is because I fucking worked at Goobers when that song was a top hit on the goddamn jukebox.
Soccer moms everywhere driving minivans and fucking SUVs,
Tough fucking times.
Able to enjoy themselves little tunes while running the kids around town and still have their street cred.
There are some things you have to give up when you become a parent, I guess. And that one is good music and the other is liquor.
Maybe. I don't know. I do have a friend of mine in Fort Worth, and she goes against all of that shit, but she can throw him back and listens to goddamn Tupac. I mean, that's the
mother of 4.
2. So
damn, Tupac, that's pretty hard.
Yeah. No, I mean, not really a value statement necessarily, except for like it's the one that does dispel that whole thing when you start getting a horde of children that your musical tastes all go to shit.
Right.
And start drinking bullshit. No. This chick will still throw back the fucking tequila like she's a bullfighter and throw on fucking Tupac and follow that up with Incubus. I mean, that
sounds just like my mother. Only you take the tequila out and replace it with Seagram 7, and you take out Tupac and plug in fucking Aerosmith.
Other than that, it's just the same.
It is. Well, I don't know. Granted, I'm sure she's probably a far better parent than my mother was to me.
Ooh, well, I mean, she is now. She didn't used to be.
Wow. Well, damn. See, people can change.
Well, she lived in Lubbock, and so I'd go over and visit some friends, this married couple over there, and known the dude since the 90s, went to college together and shit. He's the one that annoys the piss out of me with dinging me when we're trying to do the show.
Ah, yes.
So I'd go over there, and we'd drink and everything else, and then she'd show up, be about half-faced already anyway, and hang out in the wee hours of the morning. He's like, wow, so is your kid with a babysitter? She's like, no, he's at home right now. He's asleep. Like, okay. She's like, my apartment's right fucking there. It's like, yeah, I know, but isn't that weird to you that you're leaving your child at home?
Oh, man. Shit, again, that's something I can relate to. I can remember my parents staggering home drunk at like 10 o'clock. And I'm actually legitimately asleep, and they come and wake my ass up. They're drunk fucking shenanigans.
Yeah.
Where's my beer?
It's Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. How you fucks doing this week, huh?
Huh?
Answer me. Actually got a pretty fun show in store for you today. A lot of weird drama going on in the UFC.
Yeah, man.
Be tracking that down a little later. Mead updates. We might have one of those.
Yeah.
Fucking
it might be different.
The second week for our weekly check of the new releases for the week with LJ. with Lowdown. I need to figure it out. We're putting way too much pressure on this guy because new releases drop on Friday. Like, hey, dude, you mind getting this segment on Friday before we kick off the show? Dude's got a window of a few hours. Plus, he works a full-time job.
Right.
We need to get it. Like, we need to give him more time. Like maybe a look back over the last 7 days of releases. To where he's got more time to work with.
Sure.
I mean, shit, man.
I have to disagree. I say we give him more shit to do. I say we give him a 30-minute segment for the show, and then we can be drinking by 6:30. Well, I mean, we can be drunk by 6:30. We're drinking now.
Man. Well,
no, I agree. It can be a pretty big task to like fucking absorb, to be able to listen to a week's worth of music in a matter of hours.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I pulled off because I can just fucking sit at my desk when I had a computer and just fucking just zone out, listen to this shit for an hour and a half, and form opinions. Where, now like LJ gets off work, fucking dude hammers at home. I get it. Like he sends me his segment Friday morning.
Well, yeah, because he works overnight. So,
yeah. So I mean, dude probably gets off work, which I can respect the overnight fucking drudgeries, and knocks that fucker out, and then probably takes a well-deserved nap.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of pressure. So if we actually open it up and it's like, well, here are the releases from last Friday through yesterday, or some a different window. And I'm not sure why I'm spitballing fucking podcast shit here for everybody.
Just talking business here at the table.
I don't know. Make it easy on them. Goddamn.
And again, I haven't listened to this one, so it'll be he might be calling us a bunch of cunts again.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. A whole bunch of like smack in the middle. There you go, you fucking ignorant bastards.
Yeah. And after his little segment, we might have a little thing or two to say about his KBX jam that he put out.
He cranked out a wow. It's really good. It's really good actually. Yeah, it's very that dude is very inspired by Metallica, right? To his own his own admission.
Oh, absolutely. Dude fucking plays a Hatfield ESP.
This thing
like
sounds
truly as well.
Like a straight out of a Dave Mustaine video.
Yeah, like it's I can if it's Metallica influence, it has to be from the early like fucking Kill 'Em All days, the thrash days.
Sure.
I can hear the influence, like I was telling you, when there's that stop and then it goes right back into the fucking grunge fucking shred. But man, when that guy is harmonizing with himself in the style he was singing this song, motherfucker sounds almost exactly like Dave Mustaine circa 1993.
Yeah, which is a compliment, not a ball buster.
Yeah, if I said Dave Mustaine circa 2018, that would be shit talk.
Yeah. So we'll get to that. We'll probably actually close out with that one today too. So, pretty big show lined up.
Going to be a great show.
Great show for you. But I'll what is it? The owl beef hooked. That's the Irish phrase, right? Owl beef hooked.
Oh, I was like, what the fuck are you stroking out on me, son?
Yeah, actually, we picked up a rye today.
Ooh,
not cheap, but god damn, it's good. It's High West Rendezvous Rye, and if you're looking for some really top-notch rye that doesn't, it's expensive, but it's not going to break the goddamn bank unless you're kind of up against it.
It is not. It's not a bottle of rye that should be gone the next day, because if it is, your ass is probably in jail.
It's 93 proof, but man, it's got probably more of the rye grain in it than probably almost any of them on the market.
Yep. I'll agree with that.
I'm kind of wanting to also check out their double rye that they have. It's supposed to be a lot spicier and everything else, but fuck that, man. This actually won some like national recognition here a few years ago.
Damn.
The weirder thing about it is it's the first whiskey that was distilled in the state of Utah since 1870.
Damn.
So
150 years.
Yeah. So High West, it's not cheap. I mean, I picked up a bottle for $70.
Cool. Fuck. Ooh, you blow your brain in. Damn.
Which I would almost say, wow, that's like I could buy 2 bottles of Bullet Rye, but that's not true either.
I mean, you know how many 30 packs of Keystone Light that'd buy? Probably 3.
Yeah. What would we do with that? What, water plants with it?
That is what I like to call children's beer.
Ugh, yeah. I'd rather get caught drinking like Natty Light or Olympia than fucking Keystone.
I don't know about the Natty Light thing. That shit would give me headaches.
Well, it actually made me do a lot of things that I didn't really care to do. Usually, like when utilizing the restroom, I would find that really I could urinate just fine when I thought it was something else coming out. So, you know.
That's a shitty surprise.
Yes, it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is a type of liquor.
So, okay, I'll retract the Natty Light thing. But I'd rather get caught drinking Pabst or, you know, like a fucking hipster. Or
yeah, well, shit, man. Pabst is now probably ranking pretty high.
The problem with Pabst is it's not actually a horrible beer. If you're used to drinking kind of low-rent beer, it's not bad. That's the problem. The problem with PBR is who it is that's drinking it. And it's a bunch of fucks wearing ladies' jeans. Bunch of
that are 2 sizes too tight.
Dudes wearing ladies' jeans and fedoras, growing great big goddamn beards. That's who drinks fucking PBR.
Yeah, we saw a few of them. Well, not very many up there in
Colorado.
Colorado. Actually, there were actually more women than men at Sloan's that night.
That was a good sign.
That was rare thing. Not busy either.
Well, rare here. It's actually that's kind of their normal weeknight run up there.
And the ratio's far more agreeable up there than down here, man.
Yeah. But nonetheless, it's wow. I don't know. I'm not sure how I got off track talking about shitty beers, but
oh yeah.
But nonetheless,
we're talking about the price of this beautiful rye.
Oh yeah,
and all the shitty beer it would buy.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a solid 70. Now their double rye is about half that price. Or, well, not quite half, a little more, but still around $40.
Well, if you start at the top tier of the brand of the shit it provides, everything down below it should be pretty good too.
Right.
I mean, this is outstanding.
Yeah. No, they distill it in Park City, Utah, the fun part of Utah, not the other part where they look down their nose at you.
God damn it! It shoots just as smooth as Bullet does.
Yeah, I think it's actually a hair smoother than Bullet.
A little bit more of a burn.
I think it's got actually a better flavor, which is saying something because I really like Bullet Rye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the price point, Bullet Rye is the best.
Mm-hmm.
That is your best middle of the road fucking rye.
Yeah, if you don't want to, I mean, you could almost buy 2 bottles of Bullet. Now, if they actually got it on sale, fuck, you can buy 2 bottles of Bullet for the price of this. But the tax.
It's true. Sometimes that shit's under $30.
Sometimes you have to catch it at that because the tax would push it up over, if you're buying 2 bottles. But and again, I don't like to keep 2 bottles of Bullet hanging around this house anyway.
It's bad because the night you finish that bottle. It might not be that you drink 1 bottle and then crack that second one open. It's when you finish that first bottle at like midnight and you're at a good spot, but you could be in a better spot and you got a whole fucking other bottle of Bullet left.
Yeah.
That's when it's bad.
When you open a bottle of Bullet and it's after midnight already.
That's bad news. And you've already been drinking a half bottle you had left from last weekend.
Yeah.
That's bad news bears, man. I've seen it happen.
Hey.
I've seen me do it.
I've seen it happen here more than a couple of times. More than a couple.
Oh, goddamn.
Fuck, so how's your week?
I have no complaints on the job front this week. It was actually a pretty normal week. Shocking, I know.
That ain't bad.
We had a fish. A beta fish. Remember, I told a story here about how a girl fucked up at work that no longer works there.
Yeah.
And to make up for her fuck up, she bought a fish that basically everyone but her had to take care of.
Well,
so it's kind of a weird
exactly
gift, right?
Big gift. Yeah, that's
It's like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't do my job, so you had to do more work. Here's some more work for you to do. That's a hell of an apology.
It's like getting somebody some soap and a scrubber for their dishes for fucking Christmas, right? Here you go. Yeah. You can wash your dishes now.
You're a janitor. I bought you a mop for Christmas.
There you
Fuck
go.
your
That's
fucking
right.
mouth off.
Fucking enjoy your bottle of Windex.
Oh, fucking that. Well, it's dead now.
Okay.
Yeah, the fish died.
Did you kill it? Put out a contract on it?
I can't say.
Oh, okay.
The investigation
I can't confirm
is
or
ongoing.
Deny. Yeah.
No, sadly, it fucking fish easily get tumors.
Yeah.
Especially ones that are not well. This fish did not have the best life.
Right.
I mean, I wash this bowl out every Monday because that shit would be disgusting and no one else would do it. Let alone I don't know who the fuck fed the fish, but somehow he survived about 9 months. But like 2 weeks ago, dude had a pretty gnarly little bump on the side of his body, and it just was getting bigger and bigger. And got to work, and the thing was fucking dead at the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have given him the proper send-off, So I grab him, right?
Like what, a toilet?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The old toilet send-off. Fucking go in the employee toilet and lift up the lid. There's a log of shit in there.
Oh, goddamn.
And I was like, well, this is from a woman.
I was going to say, the fun point is you're the only dude working there.
Yeah, and I don't shit at my job.
Yeah.
I don't do it. Because of shit like that.
Hey, shit break.
It just gave me flashbacks when I was plunging and got shit water all over my arm.
Well, there's more fecal stuff coming out of your job than should be.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's far too literal.
So some lady went in there and
fucking dropped a bomb, a something different burrito bomb.
God,
and,
that's terrible.
And I fucking wrote it down, the pass down. I was like, hey, if you take a shit in the toilet, please make sure you flush your brown. If it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, you flush it the fuck down.
Might have been somebody proud. I don't know.
It wasn't anything to be proud of.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know when to be proud of a shit that I produced. Like, yes, I got every little bit of good shit I could out of that food I ate earlier. No, this was like more just, it was clearly a messy one because it was more toilet paper than shit.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a mud butt situation. If it's the girl I think it is, that's a hell of a situation.
Wow.
It had to be coming up her back.
God damn.
So I ended up just throwing Ocho in the trash.
Yeah.
And I left it there. I was like, I'm not dealing with that. Guess who gets to deal with that? Everyone that gets paid more than me.
Right. God, I couldn't even imagine. That has got to be a weird one, too, though, if you are the only male and you decide, and you have one evening that you are proud of. I mean, I guess you almost have to James Wood the thing and, like, lay down, like, you know, like Skittles or Reese's or something like that.
That's when you go into a vacant
trail. You know,
that's when you go into a vacant room and do it.
Oh, okay.
And then it's like, oh, I'm going to leave that here for the next guest. He's going to appreciate that shit. Look at that thing.
Give him an upper decker.
It goes left or right. The symmetry is beautiful.
It's got a little curve to it, like it came out of a Dairy Queen machine.
Yeah. No, man, my only complaints with the fucking week are with just how insane things seem to be getting lately.
Yeah.
You know? It's... And I don't want to get in too deep about it because, I mean, shit, if you're from here, you already know what I'm talking about if you're listening to this. But just the fucking insanity in youth, this next generation of ours that's going to fucking come and drag us from the ashes of our bigotry and our fucking hatred of everything that isn't us. And all they want to do is get drunk and shoot you and kill you.
No, yeah, it's... kind of a tragic little fucking deal that happened like a week ago today.
Yeah, what the fuck happened, man? Where did the fucking turnoff happen where violence was, especially extreme fucking violence? Well, granted, these were isolated incidents, the one that happened by me.
Yeah.
And then this one that happened east of town. It's all out of fucking stupid, drunken emotion.
Right. Well, and then the problem is then it does feed the fire of those that want to take away your gun rights, and shit like that. They go, hey, well, look at that. That wouldn't have happened if you didn't have a gun. Fuck that. Somebody would have died probably anyway.
Yeah, they had knives. There were knives, too. There's everything. And they're in their 20s, dude. One kid was fucking 19, I think.
Yeah. No, it's not a cool situation. Those are the Gen Zers, the ones coming up behind the millennials all the old people bitch about all the time.
Yeah, this is fucking unsettling. Yeah. People are more worried about like pollution and the world just dying on us. Fuck that. We're going to kill each other before the world gets us.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's why I'm not going to have kids, man.
Probably not a bad idea.
Fuck it. Because, I mean, it's not that I'm worried he'd become a fucking madman. A possibility. Or she. But more chance if it's a she and gets any of my genes.
Well, every time I say, well, I'm not going to have any kids, I always think of Tony Randall, I think I was, 80?
Yeah. Virile some bitch.
And had some dust coming off of that, that man batter.
It was like powdered milk.
Like, wow, that's Civil War jizz there.
You have to add the ejaculate first. Mix it together and then insert. I don't know why he turned British all of a sudden. That's the only thing that hurts my heart and my brain this week. Other than that, shit's been pretty good. Got a raving review. Well, I'll bring this up.
A raving lunatic gave you a review, and
no, I did get a good review on Expedia via the hotel. Got a good review from an old lady.
Ain't bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I said. I've said it 100 times. It's easier to leave a bad review than it is to leave a good review. If you're happy with your service, you immediately banish it from your mind. Yeah. You had a bad day, you're gonna fucking remember it and write about it. So for people to take the time out to say, hey, this fucking guy did a good job. He was friendly. He had a nice beard. I threw that in.
I like
myself.
the way that. Okay.
I threw that in myself.
Like, goddamn, that's getting to be like a selling point. Then
she was shocked at first when she saw me, but then once I was like talking to her while I was getting her receipt and stuff. Just like total gravy. Old people dig me, man.
Yeah.
It's because I'm around them all the fucking time. So I'm glad they get something out of it.
Probably a little sexual joy.
Oh, well, we haven't crossed that bridge yet, but I think once I hit 40, I might start looking into it.
There you go. Become like the Deuce Bigalow of the hotel industry.
Hey, I'm sure there's some pretty good-looking 60-year-olds out there.
No, there's not. All right.
Where's the Sophia Lorenz and the Ann Margarets? I know they're like 70 or 80.
Are they still even alive?
Fuck yeah.
All right. Crap. I have no complaints out of the week either. As soon as we flipped the calendar over to August 1st, it became apparent to me, thank fuck July is over. That's where that was at.
Dude, yeah. You had a proper sign.
I'm not a superstitious sort. I'm a little stitious.
No, I mean, and you know, we classify as heathens, but we're not devout. We're not out fucking pillaging and fucking cutting the throats of livestock.
Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet. No.
But no, I look out the window, August 1st, and there's like fucking 6:30 in the morning, something like that. The great big goddamn raven on the power line, which, by the way, and we don't exactly live in an area where that's real common. I mean, there's a few once in a while. They usually come around here and check on me in the winter months, and that's about it. But yeah, here it is, like 1st of August, and there's a great big fucking raven
singular fucking raven
staring right in the window, where I work.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, all right.
It's a fucking sign, man.
It's like, well, maybe the month of fuckery is over, known as July to some of you.
Yeah.
And immediately, and then all things start kind of falling back into place. Again, I'm not overly superstitious, but there was some weird shit afoot in the month of July.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, strange things were afoot. Nothing went right. And then it leveled off, and things were going okay, but nothing was going great.
Yeah.
Shit stopped breaking, thank fucking God. What else is there to break but our souls?
Yeah. I came pretty close in that a couple of times.
God damn. So for August to kick off as well it has so far, I think we've fucking earned it going through the toils and tribulations of July.
So anyway, cheers to a new month.
Cheers to it.
Yeah. All right. On to the Mead Metal and MMA podcast Mead update for the week. Actually, it's not a lot different from last week. We do have the Green Man batch has been started. Holly King, we're going to, here in the next couple of weeks, and I know we mentioned this last week as well, we're going to move it, rack it just to, if there are any lees in there, that way we'll get it off of those. We don't want it to be in an overly yeasty batch because there's going to be some other flavors going on in there.
Kind of get a look at it for the fucking very minute amount of time we have that shit exposed to any type of oxygen.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the secret too. Is that the less you crack it open, the less you're going to introduce fucking nasties into your batch. So we already have the organic juniper berries ready to go with those. Whenever we get around to that, we have peppermint. Fucking an assortment of peppermint, by the way.
We're incontinent with peppermint.
That's taken over my herb garden, so we'll be pulling quite a bit of that off, and that'll go in for the flavoring on that, and we'll probably flavor it for a space of about a week, maybe two, depending. I mean, we'll pull samples and everything else.
Funny how Holly King is our most organic batch.
It really is.
Most overall.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's kind of the batch that we kind of wanted everything else, all the other batches to kind of be like. But as we've bitched and ranted and raved like crazy people on this show before, we can't afford local honey. We can't source it. So we'll go with what we have. But that's that one is. It's going to happen sometime in August, about the time that Green Man. Now, kind of on the other end of the spectrum, about the time that is done with its initial fermentation, we're going to move it straight over to secondary and start getting ready. My biggest downside is Mother Nature has found a way to kind of fuck me on the green chili front a little bit. Not anything to be concerned about.
Yep.
But between grasshoppers trying to kill all my shit.
Motherfuckers.
And then just the flat-out heat. Green chili, they love fucking heat to a point. It starts getting over 100 every goddamn day. It ain't a fan. And it'll stop
it can
producing.
only be beaten down so much. I know how you say, it can have a couple days where it gets its ass kicked, and then if it levels off, the motherfucker comes back stronger than ever.
Right.
It hadn't had a chance to catch a breather yet.
No, not really. So I mean,
closest it's going to be is what, tomorrow maybe?
Tomorrow's only supposed to be mid-90s and not hundreds. So yeah, because I mean it was 102 when I got in a while ago from the bar.
Yep,
so,
that's what my Jeep said.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it gets over. over 95. Well, in the green chili, I'd say over 98. That's a problem. The corn over fucking 92, which that's why that stuff looks like it's been getting its ass kicked all summer.
God damn, man, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah,
you're fighting Mother Nature.
Yeah,
and no one ever wins.
Yeah. Don't bring a knife fight to a Mother Nature battle. There's something to be learned there.
She'll full mount your ass and beat the shit out of you.
So the green chili formation, though, it's a little slower than I would care for it to be. However, once it starts putting on fruit, which it's going to, it's blooming like fucking crazy. It looks like somebody dumped a couple of buckets of popcorn on that shit.
Oh, so it's like, now is the time.
Yeah.
Shit's so difficult.
Yeah, and it will. It'll put off big gems, and they aren't going to be all that big. It's going to be hotter than hell, though, So that's where that flavoring is going to come from for the Green Man batch. Yeah.
And that first round of Green Man, we did roasted, right? That's why we got that smoky kick. The last batches have been just straight up unroasted, and that's why it's been like the sweetness complements the honey now.
I think, that's right. Because, the first batch or two of Green Man, we'd used, the shit you buy at the grocery aisle in New Mexico. I know if you don't live fucking here, you're not getting roasted fresh fucking green chili. I get it. But yeah, those batches, that's what we were using, and that's why it would have a little bit of a smoky flavor to it, which I don't think actually was great. Was really complimentary to
it was good
the honey.
At first,
but
then once you got down to like glass number 3, you got a little tired of it. It just made you want food.
Yeah, having fresh green chili, it brings a real bright note, which I really
changes the color a lot as well.
A little bit, yeah. So that's what we're going to be using is our house-grown green chili. Right. So why not? If there was anything else I could do, I mean, as it is, a lot of the shit I'm growing around here, I'm not growing it for a specific purpose for mead, but it works out that way.
Right.
Between the peppermint, and I might add a little spearmint on that as well, by the way, for the Holly King. It'll give it a woodier note.
Fucking A, yeah.
And the green chili, but that's kind of where that ends. I'm not going to go fucking adding sage or chives or basil or goddamn corn or beans or squash or any of that shit.
How about bacon?
Yeah, well, none of that's going to work.
How about bacon liquor?
A little bacon liquor. That sounds terrible. But with all that cranking along, that's kind of where the meat update is at. I am actually thinking about getting another batch started. Probably the next one due up would probably be Troublemaker, I think. And also, we're going to change up, and this is actually going to be a kind of a big one, and that is it'll make sense for the next batch. Troublemaker, we've always utilized a different yeast. I'm going to start a couple of batches, probably like 2 batches from now. Probably we'll do a batch of long ships. I'm going to try to utilize that yeast that we generally only use specifically for Troublemaker.
The Cuvée?
Yeah, and see how that turns out. It's either going to be great or it's going to be terrible. One of the two.
Need a beer?
No, I'm actually still chugging right along.
Good man.
International Beer Day, by the way, so congratulations to you international fucks that love beer.
We're drinking Budweiser on International Beer Day.
That's right. I had something a little fancy at the brewery earlier, so why not?
Oh, what'd you have?
The Eleanor's Blonde.
That one they always talk about?
That's one they usually have. That's the one I'm all right with. They have
we've had that here.
They got a bunch of fruity ones down there. I'm just anything involving raspberry or
triple apple raspberry double buck.
It is. It's like, wow, who the fuck is drinking your fruit? Your weird sweet fruit fucking beer? That's
college women,
I guess. Now,
college women and hipsters.
If that's the only ones they care about coming in and giving them business, cool. But as long as they keep the Eleanor's around or the Greyhound Lager, I'm good with stopping in the brewery.
How come they never do dark beers?
They do have their Full Stop Amber, which isn't exactly dark, but it's close.
It's a red ale.
They had their Bull Moose Stout, which is okay, but they added something to it that made it kind of sweet, and I wasn't a fan. Kind of something similar with their porter, which is about the same way.
God, I don't understand why things have to be so goddamn sweet.
I don't know. The darker the beer, the more bitter. I'm really cool with it. I think Guinness fucking established that's the right way to do a dark beer.
Yeah. I mean, people are like, it's just not fizzy. Well, guess what, motherfucker? It's because it's a different style of beer.
It is. Craft beers generally aren't that fizzy anyway, unless you're injecting a shitload of CO2 in it, in which case then it's going to change the flavor profile as well.
Right.
And change the way it sits on your gut, and it's not going to be fucking pleasant.
Yeah, if it's heavy and effervescent, you are in for a shit night.
You'll be grabbing some porcelain later.
And even if you do, like if I drink a 6-pack of Guinness, I can tell the next day.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
I have to remember, or else I think I might be dying.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's way too dark. Oh my God, that's fucking old blood from my. Oh no, that's just Guinness Extra Stout. Never mind.
Yep. Anyway, happy International Beer Day.
Happy International Beer Day to you.
It's not national; it's the international. So, for all our friends in Germany drinking beer, happy International Beer Day to use. Friends in Scotland, those of you up in Canada. Go fuck yourself, da da da, or something like that.
You can take Goulet and shove them right back up your arse.
Right. So anyway, there we go. That's plenty of fun right there. That's the Mead update. How about we go ahead? Do you think it's time for us to go ahead and get into the metal side of things? That way we can check in with Lowdown and see what's going down.
Might as well. I again, he might be just talking mad shit about us, dude. But I'm going to put it up.
It'd be great. All right. Anyway, take away LJ, a.k.a. Lowdown, on the new metal releases for this week.
Spill it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the metal portion of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. So this is going to be a shorter list. All these come out August 2nd, so keep an eye out for these. We got Carnifex with their album World War X coming out. Crystal Ball, 2020. The album is called 2020, not the release year. Finsterforst, Zerfall. That's got to be like Norwegian, but maybe not. The Giraffes, Flower of the Cosmos. That is the heaviest thing I've ever heard in my life. It shook me to my core. John 5 and the Creatures. Their album is called Invasion. Mylingar, Dodas Lajar, and I'm going to assume that's Swedish, but I could be completely wrong on that one. Neurosis and Jarbo. Neurosis and Jarbo re-release. That's pretty cool. The New Roses, Nothing But Wild. North Lane, Alien. That's a pretty cool name for an album. North Tail, Welcome to Paradise. Then we've got The Offering, Home. Riot V or Riot 5? Riot V, live in Japan. Russian Circles, Blood Year. That is really cool. Ooh, then we've got Saxon, The Eagle Has Landed 40, live. Skillet's album, Victorious. Under Oath, Erase Me Deluxe Edition. And finally, we've got Volbeat, Rewind, Replay, Rebound. That's all we've got for you today. Tune in next week and we'll have a whole bunch more stuff for you. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Rock on, everybody. Back to you guys, Brendan and Kevin. Hey, did I not sound like a weatherman just now?
Well then.
There we go.
I didn't think he'd talk about Liza Minnelli as much as he did.
I do think we need to probably go ahead and give him some ammunition to work with where he's got actually a week to fucking check stuff out. Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, like if we hear about any, like we hear a new song, it's like, oh shit. It's like send it to LJ and be like, hey man, you might want to give this a listen.
Yeah, right. Well, and again, if you'd missed out last time around what we were talking about, the dude has a very different approach to what he likes and what he doesn't like. Fuck, Brandon and I agree on more shit than we probably should, and that makes for
you'll never get debate.
That's kind of a tough fucking road to hoe, as the farmers around here would say. Anyway, what else do we have? Seemed like there was something I was going to fucking bring up on the metal front, and it's not quite coming to me now.
Is it Tool related?
Probably, yeah. Maynard James Keenan got on the Joe Rogan podcast, announced the name of the new record.
I think Joe feels so fucking awkward and afraid around Maynard.
Well, he should, right?
I think it should.
And Joe Rogan also likes to think that he knows everything. And when it comes to music, that dude gets fucking very nervous. You can hear it, that he wants to change that subject as fast as he can.
Like when he had Ted Nugent on. How much did they talk about music?
None.
If any, it was all Ted and just Joe listening.
Joe sucks his dick for a minute and a half, and then that's it. And then after that, they talk about hunting and fucking other shit like that. And
their disagreement of marijuana, that might be the most epic conversation they have.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, Fear Inoculum. That's going to be the name of the album coming out this month. Whew. Kind of fun to fucking finally throw that out.
Yeah, we're 4 weeks away.
Yeah, August 30th. It's going to roll out, and man, I'm weirdly excited about this.
It's weird to feel this kind of excitement for an album. Because it's different from any other excitement. The Alice in Chains excitement, that was always going to be there no matter
because
if it was
they've been semi-regular about cranking out records.
Yeah. I mean, even in their big return since Black Gives Way to Blue, they put out 3 albums since 2006, which for a band like that, that's fairly regular.
Yeah.
Even Metallica, shit comes out about every 6 to 8 years. This is 13 years.
Yeah, and really... And over the last 6 months, I've come to realize fucking Adam Jones might be the most underappreciated fucking guitar player in all of whatever it is they do.
And that drummer. What's his name again?
Hard rock, I guess, or where do you classify Tool? I mean, outside of just saying, well, they're fucking Tool. What are you going to do?
I mean, if you have to keep it simple. They're a rock band.
Yeah, I mean, they're not metal, but
they're proggy. They fit
the
mold for prog.
They approach prog metal, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, time signatures are fucking just...
They're wacky.
10 in a song sometimes. Very Dream Theater-ish. Very intricate guitar
work. If you got
work.
Justin Chamberlain on bass, you're going to have some cool fucking time
I'll give you $5 if you can give me the name of the drummer.
I can't. That's Gil Gerard. It's not.
Gil Gerard. Steve Martin.
I always Google it and go, oh, that's the guy's name, and then
it's
immediately forget.
It comes out, everyone goes, oh, and then it's all forgotten about again.
You know why? Because he's a drummer. I hate to say it. Dude is fucking talented as... I mean, really, those 4 dudes in Tool, individual talents aside, they are kind of the best at what they do right now, actively, I would say.
Yeah. I put Volbeat at a close second.
Oh, well, that's good news for you. With clearly they have that new record out this week, so you got to be happy about that.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm getting the hot bath water ready, and I'm gonna get them wrist cut.
The old razor blade out,
and I'm gonna listen to probably as long as I can till I bleed out and die.
Yeah, Volbeat.
Be there or be square. I really hope LJ didn't just talk about how great the Volbeat.
Oh no, I'm sure he did.
Okay,
had to. The
my hatred of Volbeat's never been a secret.
No, that's true. Our hatred of Winter Sun, never been a secret either. And something popped up on the, thanks to the old Facebook memories earlier this week. It was, 5 years ago?
5 years ago, at the end of July 31st. 5 years.
That was when Jari, go fuck yourself, from...
Jari, go fuck yourself, Mäenpää.
Yeah, from Winter Sun had said, hey... we already have Time 2 done, but man, we don't have the means to do it. It's already in the bag. It's done. We just have to go now and get our own studio. And
I live in a shitty apartment, and there's noise stuff. And what we really want is for you, the fans. We already want you to buy the album, but now we want you to pay for the making of the album and Jari fucking headquarters.
And then bitched at the label for not allowing them to, crowdfund.
Yeah.
Which then Nuclear Blast, fine, fucking crowdfund. I don't give a shit. Which they did and got a lot of money and apparently built a sauna.
They got everything they wanted. And what Jari said, his fucking words, we're going to get more output. We're going to be able to put out more shit.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of it?
They put out one shitty record.
They put out an EP. It was an EP.
Wasn't even a full-length record.
4 songs because there are only 4 seasons.
Where is Time 2? Not there.
I don't even want to hear it anymore. My hatred for the band... Nah, fuck that. Not the band. My hatred for Jari Mäenpää will fucking not make it where I can... It's already fucked up my enjoyment of Time.
Yeah.
I'll listen to that intro track and be like, oh, man, this is good old days. But then as soon as I hear Yari's fucking voice, I tune out immediately.
The dude, they had to go and hire another guitar player because Yari's not going to play on tour now. Because he's got to be the focus solely on vocals. This after he's showing off, he bought a $13,000 guitar about 4 years ago, if you remember.
Oh
fucking
God,
bragging. And then suddenly I'm not going to play guitar on tour anymore. So
this motherfucker is turning into Axl Rose. And the shitty thing is, he has the fans to get it done.
Their fans are dumb. They're dummies.
Yeah, when's that? Because he had said there's going to be more of this shit. There will be more crowdfunding of future projects.
I think a healthy skepticism of your favorite band is the only way to be. So for these dicks to just blindly follow, Jari, let me suck that. I'm
delicious. Delicious.
It's just, they're fucking infuriating, is what they are. But
like I said, I don't want Time to. I'd rather it just all end. I'd rather Jari come out and say, man, I got fucking vag cancer, and I got to break up the band.
I want to see him come out and go, okay, well, hey, we're going to have to do another crowdfunding campaign. I want to see him do that.
He will.
Yeah, because
He said he will.
Because then the fans, the real dumb bastards that like contributed 4 times.
Yeah, like I backed it 5 times.
Like, well, yeah, and that because for them it becomes a point of being a martyr.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
these are the
that's
people
fine.
that are like up in their rooms till 3 a.m. remixing 4 seasons.
But I think
'Cause
what
you got the stems, you know, if you backed it.
But I think what it does though, a good anywhere from half to 3/4 of that fan base starts going, whoa, wait a minute, motherfucker, where's all the stuff you had promised?
And the fucking thing is, Nuclear Blast still was able to release the 4 seasons under their label.
Yeah.
So I mean, all it did was like, oh, more money for everybody.
The label's like, cool, we don't have to pay for it. Rock on. There you go.
We still get our cut though, and when we release it, awesome.
You know, and I've got to say, and you've never heard that thing start to finish, have you?
No, and I won't. I've heard 4 minutes of it.
I got through a full track and part of 2 more before I said I can't. It's lazy. It's lazy is what it is.
Yeah. And it just echoes what a lot of other reviewers said too. But I think it also that had a lot to do with the fact that they were also pretty hosed by the fact that Jari would rape his fans this way.
Yeah.
And now they all got goddamn Stockholm syndrome. We're like, yeah, no, we didn't get raped. We allowed his penis to enter our buttholes.
Yeah. And his hand,
not mine, motherfucker.
Let his hand right into my wallet, you know, and that's
damn.
Winter Sun. That's Winter Sun in a nutshell, right there. A band actually that had a shitload of promise with their, with their self-named debut, which was great. And I listened to that thing. I swear to God, I burned that the grooves out of that CD.
Fucking Winter Madness was a great album.
And then Time One came out, and years later, 8 years later, like, oh shit, this is amazing. Well, but the problem is, then all the bullshit started not long after. Within a couple of months of Time One's release, and I went, oh, I see what's going on here. We've dealt with fucking people like this before.
Just happened that Jari put out his fucking magnum opus, and it gave everyone boners.
Little did we know that the guy was going to have an ego 4 times greater than that of, I don't know, wrap everybody from Pink Floyd into one blanket.
I haven't been fucked over by something I was a fan of that hard since Rumble Johnson.
Well,
we got fucked, man.
Sure, but the thing is that I would say, you mean that you're talking about his second fight against Cormier, right?
Yeah, well, basically phoning it in, getting the paycheck, and saying, I'm out, bitches.
Yeah, he's like, I just really was doing it so that way I could have money to invest in this weed farm.
We bought shirts.
Which then, that weed farm is now tits up, and
now he's fucking on trial, and he had to apply for indigent fucking status.
Right.
Which means, for those of you who don't know what that means, you're poor as fuck, and the government pays for, to help you fucking on this case.
Yeah. Yep. For allegedly smacking a lady around. And I don't know. Then the dude had that grappling tournament. He had entered that. And again, it was just really for a payday. I think it was just to pay for his legal fucking funds, the shortcomings of what he couldn't afford to pay for.
What a fucking... People talk about John Jones falling from grace, man. Rumbles was just sad.
John Jones still there. John Jones still has a 205 strap.
Oh, yeah, no, John Jones is still the greatest fighter to ever do it and the champ. Rumble's fall from grace has been fucking sad.
Yeah. John Jones, hey, well, he'd grabbed a stripper and blah, 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 pulled her down on his lap and made her touch his dick. Yeah, I've never seen that happen ever in a strip club.
That never happened at Nibbles to me, ever.
And, and on top of that, I'm not 100% defending the guy. But let's just say this. If you're wealthy and you've got a pile of money and you're throwing it around and nothing comes of it, and then 3 months later, bitch goes, that was John Jones? Give me a lawyer.
I just got real wet, son.
So,
I guess we can go ahead and move on to the MMA portion.
MMA side. MMA is fun this week because there's been a lot of drama.
Mo drama.
And it mostly involves Chris Cyborg Santos, the Brazilian lady, 145, former champ.
You're part of the problem, man.
Yeah, of course.
Part of the problem.
She fought for what? She was in Ryzen and 1FC, yeah? Or was it? It wasn't
Strike
Bellator.
Force or Bellator? It's Strike Force.
It was Strike Force, right? And
Strike Force had a
Strike Force and
145.
Invicta.
Yeah. which basically signed by Invicta, you're signed by the UFC.
Well, now she's angry that, and she expects an apology from Dana White and Joe Rogan for allowing the climate to exist where she is criticized. Well, the Rogan thing, Rogan's already apologized.
Yeah, he apologized pretty soon after his statement.
Yeah, they're talking about, because she was talking about wanting to come into the UFC, drop to 135, and fight Ronda Rousey before Rousey lost to Holm. And Rogan made the comment, well, he's hanging out with the fucking Tony Hinchcliffe, and when those two get together, they kind of up each other's game.
When comedians hang out with other fucking comedians, things will get gnarly.
And they try to make the other comedian laugh, and that's the game. That's the game that's played. And they basically said, well, the only way she can make that cut to 135 is cut her dick off.
Yeah.
But then, like, the next week, Rogan came out and apologized immediately. So, but she now expects the Dana White to give an apology as well for allowing any of that shit to happen. She also wants the UFC to apologize for telling the commentators how to call that fight that she had last week against Felicia Spencer.
Yeah.
And she's angry because Felicia Spencer got a bunch of credit for that fight, even though she got dominated. All right, well, let's look at the fucking facts. Usually Cyborg fucking just dominates the shit out of women. She dominates women the way that Amanda Nunes dominated her, right? I mean, usually. Felicia Spencer stood in there for 3 rounds.
Yeah, outside of the Spencer fight and the Holly Holm fight, which was on December 30th, 2017, I don't see a decision. The last decision she had before that was in 2008. She finishes fights.
Yeah.
It's what she does.
So
if you go it's like going the distance with like you wrestle a bear for 5 minutes. All you have to do is survive, and you win. Well, you don't have to beat him. You remember, have to survive.
Now, granted, he just got his ass entirely kicked in, but Edson Barboza, when he went the distance with Khabib Nurmagomedov, that was the big thing. Like, that guy fucking actually fought Khabib to a decision.
Yeah.
And that was stunning to everybody,
on such short notice as well.
Yeah, but and that is the thing. If it's somebody that just utterly dominates the competition, hell yeah, the commentator is going to point it out that person hasn't finished the fight in the second round, the third round. That's the way it's going to go.
Right.
And I got into a weird position today of actually agreeing with something that John Anik said.
Oh, you're clearly drunk, or you might be doing coke, man. I don't
know.
I'm
unfortunately none of that.
Oh, sober as a bird, eh?
Anik said that never in his entire career of calling about 140 fights has the promotion ever told them the narrative that they wanted to put out there. That is left entirely up to the broadcasters themselves. So if they're going off talking about how great that Felicia Spencer looked, guess what? It might be because Felicia Spencer looked great because of the fact she wasn't getting killed.
I thought she looked pretty. Yeah, she didn't look like every other woman after her Cyborg fight. She looked closer to Amanda Nunes than she did Holly Holm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
She didn't look busted up. She could probably fight again in 2 or 3 months.
Right. Yeah.
Where any other lady would need like a clearance from a doctor.
This is definitely a chick that will be at women's 145.
But here's the other interesting aspect of this. UFC put out an interview with Dana White. Of course, an in-house interview, so it's all UFC, and it's going to be pretty positive. But Dana White basically said, if you think we're bullying you, then guess what? We're going to let you out of your contract. Well, I mean, it was the last fighter in contract. We're not going to pursue you.
Right.
Unless you want to fight Amanda Nunes, we have nothing else to discuss.
That's what she keeps trying to say, that she told Dana immediately as soon as she lost, she wanted a rematch. That's what she says. Dana said that they had got a hold of her a couple of days after she lost the belt, asking if she's up for considering a rematch, and she was hesitant to really say anything. Somebody somewhere's lying, and it sounds like that might be the fighter. The promotion has nothing to gain.
I mean, Dana wants Nunes. If Cyborg said yes, that rematch would happen.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have seen Cyborg fighting fucking Spencer on a co-main.
And trust me, the promotion wants to see Chris Cyborg fight because that makes them money. People are going to watch.
But it sounds to me like Dana's not interested anymore.
Well, because of the fact that she's bringing a lot of bullshit in. So why?
And the one thing he said was he was asked by the press about some shit Ronda Rousey had said, basically saying, I don't care if she puts like dog semen or horse semen in her eyes, something really weird and cringy that Ronda said. Basically stated, I don't care what kind of fucking performance enhancing drug she uses, I'll fight her. Funny to think about now.
Yeah.
They asked Dana how he felt about Ronda's statements, And that's when he made the Vanderlei comment.
Now, she looks like Vanderlei in a dress, right?
Now, he would go on to say that he was making more comment about her physical stature.
Because she fucking looked like Vanderlei Silva in a dress. That's why.
Yeah, but we know that he was also commenting on his face, on her face. Sorry, my
Sure.
bad. But yeah, you can't tell me she don't look the same as she did when she was 21.
Dude, you showed me a photo of when she was young. That was an attractive woman. What the hell? If you want to know what PEDs will eventually turn your body into, kids, you might want to
just look to sports.
Google
in general.
Google anything, but fucking Chris Santos is certainly one of them.
Yeah.
Look back at what she looked like when she was 20, 21 years old. She looked like a model. Now
Roid
she looks
cheating and cosmetic surgery to try to cover it up. And Brazilian cosmetic surgery at that.
Yeah, she looks funky.
Yeah,
she looks like.
And I mean, it's bottom line is we're going to see her in Bellator. Scott Coker loves her.
Sure.
He will give her everything she needs, and she can go be
not?
the champion of the people over there. Meanwhile, Amanda
They
Nunes,
don't have an Amanda Nunes over there.
No, because Amanda Nunes is a fucking Brazil's champion.
Sure.
You know, Cyborg might think that Brazil is hers. It's Amanda Nunes.
No, it's her. She has 2 divisions. Nobody's even come close. I mean, if you're going to beat Amanda Nunes, you got to go back about 3-4 years ago when she actually would gas a little bit after that first round, and then you could start really kind of working on it in the second round.
That's the thing. You got to be able to take her into championship rounds and get her tired.
Nobody's
going to get there these days.
Nobody's even close. Nobody's even close.
Shevchenko maybe.
Yeah.
I like her chances better than anybody else's.
Right.
But 135 ain't her weight.
No,
125
is her. That's her realm. And I don't know how much it'd benefit Shevchenko to move up to 135 when you got Amanda Nunes who makes a hard cut to get to 135.
Everyone's just hungry to have 2 belts now.
Yeah.
You know, now that Dana has basically said, except for Conor, everybody else can do it.
Which is kind of weird because
that
was the guy
Dana fucked us out of Conor McGregor.
Sure.
If he had given Conor just like, okay, which belt you want to defend first? You might have to defend that 145. It's been a little while, so we'll get you on that. Conor would have done it.
Right.
He would have fucking done it because it would have just been more for the argument that he was the greatest to ever do it.
I would still like to know why this promotion. They know the right fight to make. The right fight is Tony Ferguson against Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's the first fight that needs to be made. But they are
unless Poirier fucking just pulls out a miracle.
Well, God, you know that's the whole thing. That
different Poirier,
and that's the other problem too. The promotion has if Poirier does that. That suddenly is not that much of an intriguing fight.
By the way, you know that card is in Abu Dhabi, right?
Well, there
Which
you go.
means that's a pay-per-view that's starting at like 10 in the morning.
Well, because, they're going to cater to the millionaires. And
fuck them.
You know.
Well, guess what? That is going to be the first pay-per-view I don't watch in a long time. Because I'm not going to wake up at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning to watch Khabib fucking lay on Dustin Poirier for 25 minutes.
I remember the very first time I got a UFC Fight Pass, and like that weekend, there were like fights in fucking Europe or something like that. And it was one of those where it's like, they're not going to really try to ingratiate themselves to an American audience. They recognize it for what it is. So they were starting like 10 a.m. over here. And I got kind of excited about that. I take it back. It wasn't Great Britain. It was actually, I want to say, Eastern Europe, maybe even Poland. I don't know, but I mean, but it was even earlier because I think main event started like at 10 a.m. So it was one of those weird ones where, hey, the fucking prelims kick off at like 6 or 7 a.m. You know what the last thing is I kind of really want to do is wake up and start watching violence from
Especially when I'm probably still half drunk from the night before.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, even tomorrow, which we'll go ahead and get in this card now, this fucking main card kicks off at 1 Mountain Time.
Yeah.
1 o'clock. And it's in Jersey. It's not like it's in Africa or fucking someplace where it's like a 9-hour time difference.
That kind of weirds me out, too, of why it's early.
What's on ESPN? Because it's on ESPN. It's an ESPN card. There must be like baseball or something on.
They might have something on that, I don't know. That is the downside of the whole ESPN agreement because sometimes then the promotion is going to have to really take a
back seat.
Really take seconds to whatever the hell else it is that ESPN has on their programming. And trust me right now, only thing that's going on right now is baseball, and fucking precious few care about that.
Yeah. I mean, if an ESPN card comes up, your ass better hope there isn't some doubleheader going on or something. Or thankfully, it'll never be preempted by football because there are no pro games on Saturday.
And it can't be The problem is, too, is that it can't be baseball because they have the contract for Sunday night baseball. Saturdays are local. They're regional.
What about, is there any other fucking sport going on? Or the ESPYs? I don't know, but something is causing the main card here and prelims to kick off at 10 in the morning.
A little ridiculous.
Yeah. But, again, I have picked out, which, by the way, after last week, Kev went Jeff Neal, which congratulations to that young man getting $50K and now officially in the rankings, ranked 15th.
There you go.
The only time I actually give a fuck about the UFC rankings at that point is for Jeff Neal.
Dude's got some really fast hands.
He's the first fighter since Kamaru Usman to make his debut and go 4-0.
Well, good.
Yeah,
that guy's clearly got skills.
And,
I mean, we've seen him fight 3 times now, right?
4.
We've seen all 4?
Well, the first one, if they're counting the Contender Series fight,
okay,
because I think that counts on your pro record.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if it's like it's under the UFC umbrella. So, I would say 3-0.
So Austin was his debut professional fight?
His, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, but right now Kev's rocking a record of 6-6. I'm rocking a record of 7-5. No big deal. But we are going on to this really early Jersey card, and I've picked out 3. First one I picked out is on the prelims. It's women's flyweight. Might sound weird, but it is my beautiful wife's sister fighting, Antonina Shevchenko fighting Lucy Pudlova.
She's the Shevchenko that's not quite as adept, I would say.
Yeah, she's the flyweight. The flyweight Shevchenko. Has done pretty well. Lost to Roxanne Modafferi, who is the gal that comes out to weigh-ins dressed up in like nerd stuff.
Oh, the Modafferi, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Modafferi. Motherfucker. And Pudlova, we actually just saw drop a fight to Carmouche, which now led to Shevchenko fighting Carmouche for the belt next week. I'm going to keep it in the family. My wife would be pissed if I didn't pick her sister.
Shevchenko against who?
Lucy Pudlova.
I don't know. God, and you're making this one a pick?
Well, that tells you how the rest of the card is.
Oh, goddamn. I was going to say, I'll go Pudlova just to be different because Shevchenko's sister is not Shevchenko. I mean, if we're getting down to brass tacks, one person in that family fights extraordinarily well. It's not that one.
Well, I have to do it to appease my woman.
Yeah.
Moving on to the co-main event of the evening. You got some fucking old war horses here, man. Jim Miller and Clay Guida going at it.
And both of them actually have a little bit of a career resurgence, which is weird to me.
More so Guida than Miller. Guida in his last 4 is 3-1. He dropped the fight. He tapped out to Charles Oliveira. Of course, we saw what he did to BJ Penn.
Right.
He knocked out Lozon and then beat Coach to a decision. Where Jim Miller, he's lost to Oliveira as well. And Dan Hooker via that flying knee back at the Barboza Lee card. Beating Jason Gonzalez and Alex White. And everything happens with him. The last 4 has all been finishes. However, I'm a huge Clay Guida fan. It's going to go the distance unless Jim Miller just fucking puts him into orbit, which is hard to do.
Yeah, and the older he gets, the less that is likely, unless it's a submission.
I'm 2 years older than Jim Miller.
Yeah.
Which is funny, because that dude seems 40. Who the fuck is that?
It's, nah.
Nah.
Let me just see if I can hide it somewhere. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
It
Doesn't matter.
It bothers me.
Well,
so.
I know it. Yeah, I know it bothers
fucking
you.
People know what I do on a fucking Friday.
I know, man.
Oh, well. All right. Cool. I'm gonna go Clay Guida. God, a decision is the only right call there, I think.
I agree. And the main event, which is really the fight to watch, is welterweight title eliminator Colby Covington fighting Robbie Lawler.
Do we have the Robbie Lawler that still has that extra gear, or the Robbie Lawler we have seen now a couple of times where that extra gear doesn't really show up?
The only win he's had since he beat Donald Cerrone in a fight we've all felt like Donald won.
Yeah.
He lost to Tyron Woodley, lost the belt. RDA beat him. And then he had the Askren loss, which I don't really count too much against him.
Right.
Especially after what happened to Ben Askren via Jorge Masvidal.
Sure.
Or George. Whatever the fuck you want to call him. I don't know. I maybe after getting burned in that Ben Askren fight, we might get that fucking Rory McDonald Robbie.
I don't know. That fighter may not exist anymore. And if that's the case, I like Colby Covington in this fight.
You know, as much as I hate this, and I know that's the point. He wants to be hated.
Sure, no,
but
who the fuck's running around wearing a MAGA hat? It's and
and calling people snowflakes and ruining endings to like Avengers and shit.
It's the most WWE guy existing in the UFC
If
right
his
now.
shit talking seemed a little more legit, I'd fucking be 100% fan because I love a good shit talker. But this guy is just like he's reading off a goddamn card.
Yeah,
and he picks a couple like fucking bullet points and some words and sticks with them like snowflakes. Like, man.
And Donald Trump's 2 sons are going to be in attendance at the fucking fight.
He asked Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist and pro wrestling Hall of Famer, if he could use his walkout music. Now, there's a reason for this. Because in the Kurt Angle eons of time, when he was a heel and that music came on, it has the beat where you suck.
You suck, right.
That's they'll chant it in the quiet spots.
Right.
And that's what he wants. I want Robbie Lawler to fucking knock him out, man. But I just think Colby's going to take him down, wear him out.
I think it's going to be a real boring wrestling affair.
Yeah.
And Robbie, I think, is going to come up on the short side of a fucking 5-round fight.
Well, this is and it's a title eliminator. It's
because it's 5 rounds because it is the main event.
Yeah, it's a main event. So
yeah.
If Colby can't finish Robbie, though, we've seen what Robbie does in later rounds. He's actually almost better.
Yeah, well, that's why I was asking.
Especially if he thinks he's fighting from behind.
That's why I was asking if if we legitimately thought that there might be the Robbie Lawler with that fucking extra gear,
I'm pulling for Lawler, but I'm going. Oh God, I'm going Covington.
And Covington with a real boring fucking a decision victory.
I just hope Israel fucking meets him and destroys him.
Yeah,
that's my hope.
All right, well, shit, man. I think we probably did the work of the gods today. So.
I think so. Let's go ahead and get to them sweet-ass tasty picks.
All right. Picks, I'm going to go Rendezvous Rye by, High West.
Ditto.
Because that's the drink of champions today around here.
Metal. I'm going to go Russian Circles. They hit my fucking pelican nerve pretty nicely.
I'm going to go anything by Tool because they're now on streaming platforms everywhere. For those of you that didn't have access to YouTube for the last several years.
Right. They have the whole albums on them bitches, right?
Yeah. I'd be like, hey, I can listen to Tool now. What, you didn't have YouTube? All right.
MMA. Do you think Cyborg fights in the UFC anymore?
No.
Me neither. I think Dana's checked out. Cyborg has burned the bridge, and once that bridge is burned, there is no way to fucking repair it. And we'll see you at the Hall of Fame induction. That'll be the next time we see her in a UFC thing.
If at all. If at all. Yeah, I mean, face facts. Fight Amanda Nunes. Sign a 1-fight contract with the goddamn UFC. Get yourself a little respect. Fight Amanda Nunes. Give her that fucking rematch. Otherwise, shut up and go fight in a fucking subpar organization.
Yeah. Go beat the fucking jabronis.
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here, man.
All right. Hey, and by the way, so the dude doing our weekly new releases for metal.
That one guy. Lorenzo.
LJ. Lowdown. He's actually got something, speaking of YouTube. Check it out. His band KBX. Check it out. Song Dracula.
Which I believe that stands for Kinky Butt Sex.
Kinky Butt Sex. All right.
I think it does.
All right. Check it out. It is on YouTube. And dig. It's fucking Megadeth-like. See you assholes next week, huh?
Let's go get drunk.